Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've made it through all of this week's Marvel books, some of this week's DC books, and as well as a book from Image. And now it's going to wrap things up with this week's Batman books. So, yeah, still DC. But kicking things off, we've got Batman Superman World's Finest, number 14. Where we left off, billionaire Simon Stagg had apparently been murdered. And it turns out that, the day this happened, Bruce Wayne was supposed to have a business lunch with Stagg. Everything in the crime scene seems to point to the fiance of Stagg's daughter, Rex Mason, also known as the superhero Metamorpho. Batman and Superman go to talk to Metamorpho, but he catches on that he doesn't take too kindly to the fact that they kind of see him as the prime suspect. So, but Clark Kent as well and Jimmy Olsen do some journalism, and well, they find another likely suspect. Bruce Wayne. So the issue begins, Metamorpho going after various villains of his. And Superman and Batman are talking via Justice League communicator, whatever. Batman's not happy with the... Bruce Wayne is not happy about the fact that he got arrested, and with Clark pointing out that, he was released... His lawyers had him released before the cops were even snapped. But, and Bruce also points out that, because of this, he can't disappear for nights at a time, and so therefore, Batman has been hobbled. However, Clark's got a detective to help him out. Superman has a detective to help him out. Robin. Alfred comes into the cave and explains that Oliver Queen wants to have a video chat with him. Apparently, Ollie has reversed course on AI and would like to buy into Wayne Tech. But and Bruce simply says that all he's doing is giving him something to think about, and he'll get back to him. Superman and Robin are chasing leads and learn that some of Metamorpho's villains have been seemingly taken down. Doc Dredd in Southern California. Stingery was cornered for arrest in Nicaragua. And, Mason's headed to Venezuela to deal with Matanzas and his robot army. Which, Rex is doing just that. Superman and Robin arrive, and Robin gets Matanzas roped up while Superman and Metamorpho deal with the robot army. Superman is able to talk Rex down a bit. With Clark informing, or with Superman informing Rex that Simon Sagg's funeral is the next day. Bruce goes to the funeral, and, well, there aren't many people there. Rex, Stagg's daughter, Stagg's manservant Jabba, and covering the funeral for his ongoing news story, Clark Kent. Oh, wait, no, Bruce is not there. But Bruce calls up Ted Kord. And then Lauren Jupiter. After the funeral, or at the funeral, Bruce calls Clark and suggests that Clark uses X-ray vision on Stagg's body. It's a robot. But Superman, Robin, Batman, and Metamorpho come together at the Daily Planet. Superman is stating that someone's kidnapping billionaires and replacing them with robots, or puppets, digging into all their finances. Enormous sums of money are suddenly being funneled to one offshore account owned by Anthony Ibo. Professor Anthony Ibo, to be exact, creator of Amazo. So if Ibo's up to his game, well, he's got to have an accomplice. Batman suggests that Superman and Robin follow the money, while Batman and Metamorpho track down Will Magnus. Superman and Robin find Ibo's lab. Yes, Ibo's behind it. Activates a bunch of Amazos to take on Robin. While also in upstate New York, Batman and Metamorpho head to Will Magnus's lab. What's interesting, though, is that while there's signs of a struggle, the metal men are nowhere to be found until they hear a voice saying, "Help us," from the vats of molten metal. Back with Superman and Robin, Ivo's made a new has managed to make a Amazo-ish version of Metamorpho that isn't limited to elements found on Earth. This includes kryptonite. And that is where the issue ends. Interesting tale so far. I really am enjoying this book. Nightwing are probably two of the best books that DC's putting out right now, hands down. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Batgirls, number 17. Where we left off, the Batgirls had stopped managed to clean these up in the hill, on the hill a bit. Anyway, it's apparently time for the Aparo Park Jubilee, which Grace O'Halloran is covering. Attending the Jubilee are Cass, Stephanie, and Kyle, Stephanie's boyfriend. A band's playing, and Steph and Cass are dancing the music when they hear a gunshot. They evacuate people into the local bookstore, with the owner stating that if Cass and Batgirl are going to go back out, perhaps they should use the back entrance, allowing them to suit up. They discover that Great O'Halloran's cameraman has been shot, but isn't dead. They find where the sniper was positioned at, but no sniper. The Batgirls are training and going on to saying where to look next. Grace is not happy with the fact that her cameraman got shot. While patrolling, the Batgirls discover that the Hills Angels are selling weapons to freaked out locals, including Grace O'Halloran. They managed to take down the Hills Angels, but the sniper's present and fires off a round at the leader of the Hills Angels, who is saved by Batgirl. The Hills Angels fire in the direction the shot came from. Batgirl's trying to get them out of the way. While they are unable to find the again, they don't find the sniper, but they do find the sniper's nest, along with 3 bullets and a note. 1 for each Batgirl. That is where the issue ends. Interesting. Also, an enjoyable book, as per usual. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Batman Incorporated number 7. Where we left off, Batman Incorporated was looking for Professor Pig, who was seemingly making some moves in Gotham, including, but apparently 2 ne'er-do-wells from Bloodhaven stole an armored truck that was intended for Professor Pig. Inside is the creation he calls Mommy. And so Pig's Dultrons are going after the ne'er-do-wells, who have been found by Clown Hunter. In Gotham, Ghostmaker and El Gaucho are making their way through one of Pig's hideouts and find most of the big names, villain-wise, being held prisoner there. Meanwhile, Clown Hunter, Jiro, and Raven Red, I believe, are dealing with the Dultrons when Knight and Grey Wolf show up. Clown Hunter helps the 2 kids from Bloodhaven escape, while Ghostmaker ponders whether or not to simply kill all of the assembled rogues that have been kidnapped by Pig. Back with Clown Hunter, he gets taken prisoner briefly by Professor Pig, but Raven Red has a solution, grabbing Pig's chainsaw and telling Pig to let Clown Hunter go, or Mother becomes sawdust. Pig agrees. Clown Hunter kicks him in the head, and the Bat family show up to take Pig into custody. As well as, or actually no, not to take Pig into custody, but rather to take the assembled Bat villains into custody. With Ghostmaker making a point of telling Nightwing that he did consider taking them all out right then and there. And so, the next time any one of them hurts someone, it's on Dick. Next day, Clown Hunter, not as Clown, but rather as Bow, goes to Haven, gets a slice from Marvin George's Pizza, sits down and talks with one of the Haven residents, the one who, in fact, told him about the two ne'er-do-wells that had seemingly came upon a big score. And while she says, hey, it's a nice place, people, and if he needs a place to stay, and Bow simply says, maybe, but he can't right now. He has people who depend upon him. On the way back to Batman Inc.'s headquarters, Ghostmaker compliments Clown Hunter on his investigative skills, and hears various news reports of various villains and who have been allowed, who haven't been, who are still at large or frequently escape from prison, and becomes rather frustrated. Raven Red calls his father. Apparently, they've been called to Shanghai, so he's not going to be able to come visit his father anytime soon, but immediately, but he will soon. As Raven Red's father hangs up, though, someone comes up behind him and says, "Your son ain't coming," and then shoots Raven Red's father. Shooter identifies himself as Dusty Bronco, member of Joker Inc., and that is where the issue ends. There was a brief setup 2 issues ago for Joker Inc., so it looks like that's what's going to be the next arc. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Catwoman number 54. Where we left off, Selina's planning a prison escape. However, things have taken a bit of a turn as a handful of new inmates arrive. The Crazy Eights. Catwoman gets into a brief scuffle in the ladies' room with the Queen of Hearts. And apparently they're supposed to, the plan is for the Crazy Eights and to fight with Catwoman's crew. So the plan, however, is to use the fight as a means of escaping. In Alleytown, Aiko and Tomcat are dealing with Aiko and Dario are dealing with people continuing to sell XO. The first part of the plan, the breakout plan occurs. Lady Clayface makes a blade, while one of the other girls sticks it in her neck. Later, he has healed up and opens the more loading dock. Apparently, Punchline is a special guest that is coming for Catwoman. So the prison break occurs. But before that, Catwoman and Punchline have it out with Catwoman explaining, hey, this is how things are going to be on the outside. And so the two crews join forces and manage to break out. All of them going their separate ways. Underneath the Kitty Cat Club, the various Gotham crime heads of Gotham crime families are meeting. Aiko is Aiko's claim that she would that she'd kill Catwoman herself if they were in the same room together is called into question as Catwoman shows up. And that is where the issue ends. This arc is definitely getting good. It is leading up to a Bat versus Cat crossover in a few months, so I think that starts up in June. Anyway, moving on though to our last book for the week, we've got Nightwing number 103. Where we left off, the Titans were planning a hell heist to protect Blockbuster's daughter. So they arrive in hell with Raven basically giving them mystical blinders because, well, hell is full of suffering people. They're heroes and, well, they'll want to help. Elsewhere in hell, Lady Blaze is meeting with Neron, seemingly looking to make a power play, but Neron hands her ass and then moves on. Back on Earth, Olivia is under the protection of Starfire, Batgirl, and Donna Troy. So it's not just protection; they're going to train. They're on Themyscira. In Hell, the Titans come upon Lady Blaze, explain their plan, and basically kind of this is gonna, as their plan's gonna make Neron look worse. She's more than happy to help. Apparently, Neron's got a tower with which has all of his records in it, and so the Titans break in, and well, the computers, yes, actual computers, have all manner of malware, spamware one could think of. Vic hacks it and basically says if he if he randomly asks anyone for their date of birth or first pet's name after this, do not give him the information. But they find Olivia's contract, and we learn that Olivia's mother is in fact Jezebel Jet, who was involved briefly with Bruce Wayne during the Batman R.I.P. arc, and has since been killed by Talia al Ghul. But reading the contract over, Dick thinks that maybe he can get around it. Basically, they need bureaucracy, which means he's got to talk to his sister, Melinda. Saving Olivia's soul with local government. At Iron Heights, Neron goes to talk to the Smiling Man, and, well, Smiling Man isn't the only inmate in Iron Heights who's made a deal with Neron. The next day on Themyscira, Olivia's training continues when Wonder Woman shows up. Though it's not really Wonder Woman, it's Smiling Man. And they're also being hit with a psychic attack. Because, well, Smiling Man is not alone. Grodd and Dr. Polaris are with him as well. At Bloodhaven Town Hall, Nightwing's going over all the documents. Neron shows up after Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Raven leave. And basically even offers to give Nightwing powers if, he just forgets all this. Offering to make him Super Wing. And that is where the issue ends. In our backup story down at the circus, Nightwing and John Kent are investigating a crime scene at a circus. It appears that the trapeze artist, their rope was cut. Also, there was an explosion as well, but that appears to be something completely... It's not... At the moment, they figure that the trapeze being cut is with a distraction. But there are only 3 people who had access to the trapeze ropes. The 2 trapeze artists and their safety guy. Safety guy didn't do it. One of the trapeze artists didn't do it. And it turns out the trapeze artist's son, well, he wants to have a normal childhood. They thought maybe if it looked too dangerous, so he cut his line. And maybe if things look too dangerous, well, maybe he could start having a normal life. And his mom hears him, and basically, things are going to change. And now is to figure out who planted the bomb. And that is where the issue ends. And that is going to do it for this week. As always, since Tom Taylor took over, Nightwing was great. But anyways, as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.